Yeah, we've got something to celebrate with Finding Dory. So, but before we get there, we're gonna start with what we start with every week. Oh, what you doing? Oh, what you doing? What you doing? Ba-da-da-da-da. Pa, 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 pa. I love it.
Wow.
It was awesome. Last week I got to do it in the car. It was carpool karaoke, man. Eventually we'll get instruments in here again. Don't worry. But let's start with our guest, Sarah. What you doing?
Well, David.
Big sigh. You okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the things that I've done this week. I've done so much.
So much.
I don't know if any of the listeners recall, but the last Disney episode, I was complaining about a project that I had been making that was very difficult. Well, I just finished that project.
Nice.
So now I can finally
Months?
give it to the intended person. Only a month behind the original date that I wanted to give it to them.
That's okay.
But
it's a thought.
Yeah,
The
it's
delayed
the thought
thought.
that counts.
Exactly.
So I'm happy that's over, and I just finished watching all 7 seasons of Nurse Jackie this week. So
Holy smokes.
I'm
In like a month.
I'm going through withdrawals now. I'm like, well, I need something to fill
it's
my
like the
Nurse-
show.
Yeah, Jackie.
Okay, so real quick, Nurse Jackie, tell me. Okay, so is this show over? Is it done?
It ended last year.
And what was it on?
It
Showtime.
was on, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. Okay, so tell me what it's about.
It's about a nurse who works
joke.
at.
Name's Jackie.
Her name is
Sorry,
Jackie,
it's too easy.
and she is a pill addict, basically.
Okay.
So it's about
Drug
how her family finds out and her life falls apart, and I won't
Now,
spoil it. But
was she an addict? Was this part of the show? Was she an addict before she became a nurse, or she
No.
introduced to you as an addict?
she's introduced to you as an addict.
Okay, and she takes pills from the pharmacy and tries
Right.
to hide it.
Right. Yeah.
Is it kind of like the Walter White thing, like where he's like stealing scientific, instruments to make meth, and it's like,
well, she doesn't
she
make
almost
it.
gets caught, and then
Yeah, there are definitely a couple times where she almost gets caught, but
Okay.
And she does get
it's a
caught,
whole
yeah.
roller coaster of a show. So.
does she blame it? Please tell me she doesn't blame it on the patients, right? Does
No,
she do that
no,
with
she
someone?
never blames it on the
Okay,
patients. Her whole
Nurse
thing
Jackie
is,
would never do
Yeah.
that.
I mean, she blames it on her first daughter, but I mean that's a whole nother story. So
Wow, that's
Yeah.
way worse.
I think she's like more. I didn't see all the episodes obviously with you, but a little bit. She's definitely an anti-hero. Like you want to
Yeah.
root for her because she is a good person, but it's like you're a drug addict and you're kind of
Right.
a crappy
yeah,
mom.
the very last episode, the finale of the episode, I cried because I
Good.
was so mad at myself for ever liking her.
Ooh,
ends on a good note. All right.
It's a good show though. Watch it.
How many episodes in a season?
7 seasons, about
so-
13 episodes.
No, like 10 or 11 episodes.
And
per
you burned
season.
through that in in
in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
a couple
basically.
weeks? 4
Well,
weeks?
it was at first
You
it was
spaced
like
it out,
slow,
yeah.
and then just the last 2 weeks I've just
Is it-
binged through the whole thing.
Is it one of those shows? Because is it a show that obviously it has an overarching story because it's Showtime, but is it one of those shows where it's like cliffhanger, or is it just kind of like each episode has its own kind of arc? Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I think each episode has its own type of arc.
There's never like to be continued. That's more like
But I mean, the whole story is to be continued.
Right.
So.
It's definitely one of those shows that's good for binge watching. Like you're like, oh my god, next episode. Like they
okay,
have that
gotcha.
stinger at the end almost
Yeah,
in every
yeah.
episode. You're like, you know.
got to see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other than that, do you binge a lot of TV or no?
I was going to say cookies, cupcakes.
No, I'm
Yes, I'm
television.
a binge eater. My name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. No, but do you watch? Because I find myself like I can only do like 2 or 3 episodes at a time now, and then I check out. I'm not watching it anymore. I'm just like, it's almost like a completionist. Like
Well,
I'm
maybe
like,
you should watch a better show.
no, even when it's a good series, like I just know when my tap out point is, where it's like, okay, I'm literally just doing this to complete. It's like video games. You beat the game.
Oh, so you're over with the show at that point. But
No. I'm saying I'm done. Like there's a certain point for me where like attention span and enjoyment get to a peak, and then it starts falling off, and that's probably about after watching 2 episodes of a show.
No, I could go like 4
Any
or
show,
5
though?
hours
Any show.
watching a TV show
I
straight.
don't know. There's different shows where I'm like,
You gotta watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it doesn't matter really how entertaining it is. It's just I think it's more for me. I start to have that completionist in me where I'm like, well, I have to watch all of them as fast as I can so I can say I watched all of that.
no, you don't have to do that.
I'm definitely a binge. I'm a TV binger. I can say that.
Yeah, you're
I
in
can
a
admit
safe
that,
space.
Yeah, but it's only
The internet.
Yeah, but it's only because I start to watch the TV show and then I don't like it when I have to change it because I'm like, oh, I wish instead of watching this, I was just watching the show that I was just binging on. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time letting go.
Netflix is great.
Do you guys ever like? Because the one thing analogy I think of is like, have you ever read 2 books at the same time?
Yes.
No.
See, I've done that, and I don't like doing that, but I get what you're saying, where you're just like, I just want to get through this arc and this story. The problem that I have with so many TV shows, and even with binge watching, is like if I don't get in at the beginning, like if it's 7 seasons, that's that's too much. I can't do it. Like, I want to watch 24. Like, I think I'd love that show. Like, Jack Bauer, like, all seems cool. But there's like 15 seasons of that thing, and it's just like,
I don't know if I could do that.
And it's just like, no, that's too daunting. I can't get there. Like,
I think it depends on the show. Like, I just started rewatching The Americans. I haven't seen it before. I watched the first season. Have you heard of The Americans?
No.
It's an amazing show. Actually.
Okay.
It's on FX. It's still on right now. It just ended its fourth season.
This has the comedian.
Comedian? What?
The main character. I think he's. No, I'm thinking of a different one. The Riches. That's
no, this one it has Kerry Russell in it.
Kerry Russell. I forgot the guy's name. Reese, R-H-Y-S.
Anyways, I was thinking of a different show. Sorry.
So it takes place in the 80s or early 80s or late 70s.
No, it's like 80s.
So timepiece.
Early 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, timepiece. But they're Soviet spies living in the U.S.
Oh God.
But they were sent there when they were like 16, and they have kids together and all this stuff.
Now, do they like
go wacky adventures?
Do they like awaken
Well, I
them?
don't know
Like
if I'd say they're
activate
wacky
them?
adventures.
No, not activate. That's their purpose. They've always been there for that purpose, and raised in America.
I should have known you'd like this show. Anything to do with Soviet Russia.
So like, I watched the first season when it was on, and then like when season 2 came out, I remember watching like the first or second episode. I was like, okay, but there were other stuff. There's other stuff on.
Yeah, of course.
Now it's like there's Game of Thrones, and that's pretty much it. So I have time to go back and just finished watching, I think, season 3. I think I'm on the last episode right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I don't know how I stopped watching this show. This show is so freaking good.
It's really picked up.
Yeah, it's another one of those shows like, oh my God, next episode. Like, it's made for binge watching, because at the end of every episode there's something like crazy.
Well, I think because the medium is changing and there is like original series on Netflix, it's actually kind of cool. They've talked to a lot of creators, like knowing that your audience it's not episode to episode. Like, each episode can be a contained story in and of itself. Like you're talking about with Nurse Jackie, like it has a beginning, middle, and end of each episode, but really in reality you're making a complete series. Going in, we're going to have 13 episodes. The audience is going to watch every single episode, and they're going to watch it probably in a short amount of time, which means you can take some liberty of things that are far apart and without reminding the audience. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like if you watch Daredevil or I'm trying to think of another Netflix, Orange is the New Black, and you watched it over the course of 3 years, I don't think they would be able to get away with some of the stuff where they bring in characters or make like a callback, which everyone would be like, what was that?
Well, it's like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, it's in its 6th season right now, right?
Yeah, but they're making a lot of previously on.
Yeah, they do previously on. Remember that one guy from season 1, episode 3?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, holy crap. Didn't you know he's going to be in the episode? They have to do that because...
It sucks, though, because then I know, like, okay, you know what I mean? You're telegraphing your...
Well, the way I don't watch the
You don't watch the previously on?
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're that guy.
Yeah. But, shut up, man. Or the next time on, I watch that.
I don't watch that for
No,
sure.
I
Definitely
don't
don't
like
watch
to
that.
be. I don't like to be.
No.
anything to be
But I don't
spoiled,
think
so.
they're like House of Cards. Any of those have like previously on House of Cards? They don't, right?
Sometimes I think they do.
Yeah.
Or they'll have like a pointer scene like you talk about, like the very before the credit or before the intro credit.
Cold open.
The cold
they
open,
say.
that's what it's called.
I think
It'll have a moment where it's like, hey, this character walks in and does something, or it
I
shows.
always thought it just depended on the network, because even Nurse Jackie, they never used to do previously on until like season 5 or 6.
That's my point, because I think
So
they
it's
start
like-
referencing older stuff. But Nurse Jackie was made for Showtime, so they don't have that same, audience. You know what I mean? They were probably releasing them weekly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. It's
Very cool.
It's cool that there's kind of a different space for all these different things. It'll be interesting as Netflix keeps getting more and more popular, if those shows like Showtime and stuff like that really do start saying, look, we put it out on Showtime and X amount of people watch it, and then once it gets on Netflix, 18 times the amount of people watch it, so maybe we just start gearing towards that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, now Showtime, HBO, obviously HBO have their own streaming services now because they know the draw.
Well, hopefully that breaks the chain of the cable companies, where you have to like buy, it's like I want to buy like 3 TV show or channels. I want like NBC, all the basic ones. I want HBO, Food Network, Nickelodeon. This is saying more about me than anything. I like to eat and watch cartoons, which would be awesome. Like if you could, a la carte it, but you can't because they all, Viacom and all that stuff.
I just want anything I can watch hockey on,
Yeah.
and then football on. That's pretty much all I care about when I have TV.
Sorry for we digress. What else is going on? You got anything else in your Whatcha Doing, Sarah?
No, but I'm pretty excited for next week. Gerald's going to be out of town, so.
Oh, GNO, Girls Night Out.
And my favorite
trying
TV
to find a
channel.
new show to binge.
Yeah, my favorite TV channel, which is the American History Channel. They're having a Supervillains Week all next week.
Wait a second. There's a Super Villains Week. So what are they
Yeah.
showing?
This is like
gonna be like all
a
the
crappy
dictators.
off-brand history channel.
Yeah, but they don't talk about. Sometimes they talk about aliens, but not all the time.
Is that one guy?
It's still like aliens, but there's still like conspiracy theories and like kind of wacky stuff.
Okay.
I love it. It's for old people. It's amazing.
Yeah, their ads are like Metamucil ads and like.
That's when you know what when you're watching a show and you're like, this is not meant for this. I am not the target audience.
Not the target demo.
Diabetes. So, so wait, tell me, American History. What is it? It's called
American History Channel, AHC.
What
I haven't
channel
even
is it
heard
on
of that.
DirecTV?
I have no idea.
It's like 300 something.
That's the problem. There's like when you get into the 300s, like, come on, man.
It's a gem of a channel. I love that channel.
Yeah. I think that the DVR is the invention that allowed us to have over 8 million channels.
Yeah.
It's like, good lord. So they're super villains. So they're just going to have documentaries about like Hitler and Stalin and okay.
all about those.
Right
That's
up
cool.
your alley.
There
Exactly.
you go.
That sounds super excited.
That's next
I
week.
can watch it and
So
not be judged.
Stay tuned. There you go. All right. This is where you're supposed to throw it to somebody.
Gerald? What are you
Gerald,
doing?
what? No, that's not what you said.
I don't know how this works. I'm not on here.
What you
enough
doing, Gerald?
to know?
It's
Okay.
okay.
Well, other than catching up on the Americans, playing a lot of Overwatch.